Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space again. Doing an art journal page today, doing a mission inspiration. This is mission inspiration June. A little behind, but getting there. So mission inspiration is an 8-step recipe to create your journal page, basically. So the first step is words, writing or text. So I decided to do something different. I grabbed a whole bunch of magazines and cut out a lot of typo text. So big, bold words and sayings that I wouldn't use anywhere else. Oh, probably the beauty I would. Okay, saying that. Okay, so I wanted big, bold ones. I wanted black on white and white on black, just to give the background a bit of interest. So I'm just gluing those into my altered wine book. Still trying to fill up the wine book. I know I'm whining about my wine book. I'm going to get it finished one day and then I'm going to chuck a huge party. Because then I get to crack into my next journal and see how long that takes me to do. I've been working in the same altered journal, well now it's split into two, for 2.5 years. So it's time to have it closed and move on. So still sticking the words on. I do lose a bit of footage in this one. I don't know what happened. First time I've ever lost footage of one of my videos. I might have deleted it by accident. Oops. Just trimming up those words. That other side where that rose is, I was going to use the rose. I had that in my mind. But I changed it. And the rose doesn't even make it on the page after I sit there and fussy cut the silly thing looking thing out. So sometimes with mission inspiration, I start with a theme or an object or a focal point and build my page around that. As you can see in this one, I did, but it didn't work out that way. So the steps are quite vague, so you can interpret them however you like. So while I'm trimming up the page and trimming off the excess words, each month you also get 3 suggested colours and 5 suggested words. You can use the colours or the words or not. I didn't this month. A lot of the time I don't. Maybe next month I will. So the suggested colours for June were ocean, lemon and lime, and the suggested words were sun, dance, breathe, document and enjoy. So you can take one of the words for inspiration, you can take one of the colours, or you can just follow the 8 steps. So I think maybe next time I might follow the colours. That might be interesting because I don't think I've done the colours for a while. So definitely jump into mission inspiration if you have never tried it. It's lots of fun. It's great to do when you want to do an art journal page but you really don't know where you want to go, because the steps sort of help you along. Also great for beginners as well. And if you don't have anything with one of the steps, don't go out and purchase anything new. That's not the whole point of it. The whole point of it is to have fun. Just substitute something. So just step 2 is wash of colour across page. So add a thin wash of colour. I didn't want to totally obliterate, oh that's a big word for this late at night, the words in the background. So I just patchily put down some Delusions London Blue paint. Trying to use up my Delusions paints. I've had them 3 or 4 years possibly. And yeah, maybe 4 years. And they are drying up. So I do want to use them up this year. I don't know whether I want to get the new colours. I said this in a video the other day. Not sure whether I want to get the new colours. If you saw my box of paint, you would just, I've got enough paint to think about or shit. So step 3 was collage tissue onto page. So tissue could be tissue paper. I'm actually using some word tissue paper I got from Kmart years ago. That's the theme of my videos lately. Everything is old like me. No, I'm not that old. But everything is old because I'm trying to use a lot of things up, and basically I've got enough stuff that I can probably not buy again for several years, apart from your necessities like glue and stuff and things I run out of, and I can still probably keep art journaling. We all probably could. I can see you all raising your hand and going, yes, I could probably craft in your designated craft for several years without running out of material, except for buying glues and things you run out of, the odd things. So I just decided to tear those in strips. Why? No idea. No idea where I was going. I had the idea to use the rose. The girl with the cat mask on the other side was an art journal page I did ages ago. Oh, that'd be 18 months ago. So I don't work in order in my journal. Some people work chronologically in their journal. I don't. I basically, when you're using an altered book, it's great to work some in the back, some in the front, some in the middle, then go to the back, the front, the middle, because otherwise you can end up blowing out your spine of your book if you put all this extra material in the front of the book. So that is one of the tips with working with an altered book while I'm just giving that liquid matte gel medium that I used to put the tissue paper in a dry. So that's one good thing in your book, is you work not in chronological order. So hence why I've got a page that I did probably 2 years ago and a page that I did recently together. So what are we up to? What are we doing now? Add sketchy marks. So I decided to grab a new stamp set I'd just received from overseas, that lovely website we don't mention anymore, but everyone mentions it anyway, and decided this scribbly circle, and like the flicks of a solid line, this one, I don't know what to call it, this one I'm about to stamp, I just did some of that in the background. I wanted it to be quite subtle, so I didn't mind if the stamps didn't stamp very clearly, and then I'm just stamping onto some that's greaseproof paper for Woolworths that I use to wipe my paint on and wipe my stamps on and make my own collage paper. Now I'm sticking the rows and I'm going, yeah, it doesn't really work. So, okay, here, the bit of footage we've missed, I stuck 2 polar bears on because I went flipping through my magazines. So that was the next one, was 5 glue, yes, glue something from nature on your page, hence why the rose was going to be in my page, but the bears are from nature, so polar bears. And then step 6 that I also lost the footage for was fabric, ribbons, lace or trim. So I actually grabbed some white lacy border, I think it's paper border, and made some icicles for my little polar bears to be on without just floating around. So the white lace is the icicles. Step 7 is brad, staples or clips. What? Didn't know what to do with this one. Didn't want to staple through my journal because I've got a page on the other side. Didn't want to put brads through my journal. So I thought, right, I need a title. There was no prompt for a title. So I go, right, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I grabbed my title and I actually stapled through the 4 letters of look before I stuck them on the page, just to give them the look of, oh my god. Give the look word the look of being stapled down. Oh, Alexis would be here, she'd be laughing her head off. So these black stickers just come from the reject shop recently, and I decided to use them. I do have a load of letter stickers somewhere, but somewhere is the problem. They're somewhere. I don't know where they are. Haven't come across them in one of my boxes, possibly one of the bottom ones. So just adding, because I was gluing or sticking the stickers onto paint and Liquitex matte gel medium and the borders, I just added some extra glue. That glue's from Reject Shop, and it comes out more like a clear gel and it dries clear, and it just gives the stickers a bit of extra stick, because if they just were stuck on themselves they would eventually fall off. So I like my things in my book to stick and not to come off. Oh, so step 8 was add a word, phrase or quote. Oh, so I combined the last 2. I'm sorry, there was an add word, phrase or quote. Seriously, I can't read tonight. This is the 5th voiceover video I've done in a row, and I think my words have gone on a vacation. So I think I might stop doing this and, well, after this video, and go and play. I think I need to get some paint or some grot on my hands. But I thought I'd take advantage of the nice quietness in my house to get some of these voiceovers done. So just adding the last letters to say look before you leap, which I thought was quite poignant, quite, what word am I looking for? See, my words have gone on a vacation. Quite appropriate, that's not the word I was looking for, but that'll do. Quite appropriate to the picture of the bears leaping. So sometimes I use my art journal as a place to get some of my jokes and funniness on the page. Other times it's quite serious. Okay, so I decided that we needed a border. So I grabbed a fine tip liquid whiteout pen from Officeworks and just decided to do a doodly border around the edge. I love this because it's nice and opaque and it's got a fairly fine tip on it. So it's a cheap version of a paint marker. So I do recommend, if you're having trouble finding a white paint marker or a white paint pen, try a whiteout pen. Your art journals aren't going to hang in the Louvre, so they don't need to be archival or last 10,000 years. They just need to probably last your lifetime. So I decided my letters were looking a little lost, so I grabbed my white Signo gel pen and just did some doodly borders around them. I have a lot of trouble with gel pens and white paint pens of them just dying after I put them into wet paint or wet gel medium. So sorry, that's not very good, Melinda. Early camera skills today. So I've got some still close-ups at the end, close-up photos at the end. See, words lost. Probably lost half my audience too. So some nice close-ups at the end. Watching you, I love the two leaping bears at the back. It's like mum and they look like two brothers leaping towards the mum. So I'll leave you there. I think I'm done for voiceovers for tonight. Bye for now.